Welcome back to Melodic Memories of Lights Monarch. I'm Casey, and today I want to start off with Black Veil Brides. Now, I don't have a lot to talk about regarding them today, but they did have a brand new post on their socials, this time to the Ave Maria music video. Yes, their post itself said, "So sing Ave Maria, heal the pain. From our latest album Vindicate, stream Ave Maria everywhere now." Very simple post, just kind of showed off the music video a little bit with a link to it on YouTube. A very good music video if you haven't seen it. One of the best songs on the album Vindicate itself. Though I could realistically say that about each and every one, let's be real. But it is just one of my favorites. I very much enjoyed the music video. Again, it's one of those performative music videos done by Joshua Schultz, the legend himself, truly. He was able to do a music video for every single song that was not included with its own original music video from back when it was released as a single. I don't know if anyone was able to catch it, but they did show them all off on a live stream before the album dropped. They are now all out on YouTube for you to enjoy, so definitely go and check them out. Very worthwhile if you're a fan. I very much enjoyed them myself, even though they weren't as cinematic as some of those other videos. They still deserve to be seen all the same. So a very good music video for a very good song. Very much appreciate that. And the fact that Vindicate is out and has been out now for, close to 3 months, hopefully I'm not jumping ahead yet, but that's absolutely wild. I can't believe that this album that we were waiting so long for as fans is and has finally been here. Absolutely crazy. I'm excited to see where they go from here and when they actually start going back to touring and all that. Right now, they are just in a quiet spot. So good job, Black Veil, on an amazing album. Anyone that hasn't listened to it, go stream Vindicate now. What are you doing? It's very much worth your time. To move past Black Veil, though, I need to touch on, and everyone probably already guessed, 21 Pilots. Yes, 21 Pilots, they released a brand new live album. So they released More Than We Ever Imagined live from Mexico City. Absolutely fantastic. I adore it. Absolutely adore it. I know I experienced it in IMAX. We did get a chance, though, especially for those that did not see it in IMAX or theaters in general. We all did get a chance on Saturday, the day after the album was actually dropped, to rewatch the entire live stream. So that movie, we got to see it a second time. Granted, that was if you bought tickets and joined the live stream, and for those that did, we have access to it until August 22nd. Very awesome that it's video on demand. I wish I could have just bought it. I will admit I would have rathered that, but I will take what I can get. Now, to do with that live stream, we did end up getting quite the lengthy Q&A afterwards, and that was very awesome to get. I love being able to hear actual answers from fans, like questions that are asked from fans, answers directly from Josh and Tyler, the two that are in the band. Obviously, it's great to ask them questions. I myself did not get my question answered, though it wasn't nearly as personal as some of these people's were. Mine was literally just asking them, hey, is this coming to physical media? So I'm not really that butthurt over why they didn't answer it. I hope that eventually that question gets answered, but all the same, it is what it is. There were quite a few good questions, though, a lot of good answers, and I would love to go on about them all, but I definitely did not write them all down, so I'm not going to try to butcher it. I'll just let you go check it out for yourself. It's definitely going to be online. People have already posted it. I even seen links to download the entire movie. So not going to share any of those, obviously, because it is against the law, if I'm not mistaken. I don't actually know, so I'm not going to advocate that. But the Q&A, as a fan, very much worth it. I really enjoyed their answers towards the different songs that specifically to Tyler, what means something to him still being backslide and center mass. That's kind of where he feels he is at in today's day and age, which is absolutely depressing, but at the same time understandable. I get it. A lot of it was very introspective on them as band members, as people even, and what kind of questions they would like to ask their fans, what kind of song would they like to play if they were to switch bodies for a day, like a Freaky Friday situation. And like there's a lot of interesting questions that I even myself might necessarily not have thought to ask, and I very much appreciated it. I actually recorded it all myself on my phone because I didn't even think of screen recording my computer, but again, I wasn't going to share it by any means. It's just for myself to have. And I really, really enjoyed it, just as I did the actual album itself. Now, the album itself, this is really what I wanted to dive into. I know I could dive into more of the questions, but again, I didn't write them down. I just kind of wanted to mention that, hey, it happened and it was great. I really, really appreciated them answering the questions they did. As for the album itself, though, it was a little different from the movie. I noticed that right away. Vignette, obviously, we didn't get in the movie. That's a song that's on the album itself. And actually, let me just read over the 21 songs that 21 Pilots ended up putting on this thing, being Overcompensate, Holding On to You, Vignette, Car Radio, Tear in My Heart, Shy Away, Heathens, Next Semester, Routines in the Night, The Line, oh my god, The Line, Mulberry Street, Navigating, Nico Heavy Dirty Soul, Guns for Hands, Lavish, Ride, Paladin Straight, though that should be in brackets Bandito, Jumpsuit, Midwest Indigo, Stressed Out, and Trees. Gotta end it with Trees, obviously, but an amazing track list. Honestly, that set, fucking fantastic, but when it comes down to the actual songs themselves, I absolutely loved the fact that it was live. I know that's pointing out the obvious here, but the way that they do their transitions, the things that they do live that they do not do on the album is unmatched. This band, if you haven't seen 21 Pilots or at least heard a live performance, please give this album a chance. I know live music in terms of actual album listening isn't necessarily everyone's cup of tea. If they heard it live, they would rather be there in person. I get that. I used to actually be like that, not gonna lie. But with my favorite artists, when they release a live album, obviously I'm gonna listen to it, and 21 Pilots is one of the exceptions as to where I truly believe their live albums are just as good, if not sometimes better, than the studio recordings. It's crazy. It's crazy to say that. But from their live stream that they did for Scaled and Icy, which is also on streaming, their MTV Unplugged thing they did, you can even go back to Blurry Face Live if you really want to, but I'm talking about modern day. This album included More Than We Ever Imagined live in Mexico City. Absolutely fantastic. I was sitting here in my room listening to it for the first time, and granted, I seen it in IMAX already. I already seen 21 Pilots twice on the Breach tour and once in the Bandito tour. Long time ago, yes, but still, like, I have the experience. I was sitting here in tears, sobbing from different songs, and I couldn't tell you why. It was like I was actually there again. I was reliving the moments of, like, holy shit, seeing them on stage in my memory just from hearing the tracks. That was one thing. And then the actual just music itself and the lyrics, I felt every single emotion that this band was trying to give and trying to pull out of us, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was like living it for the very first time while all those other memories popped into my head. And I know it might be just me that would have cried from it, but honestly, it made me sob in certain moments. And those extra big moments, the powerful moments of The Line and Paladin Straight with Bandito included, and even Trees at the very end, literally bringing me back in time to seeing the confetti fall on my face while they're pounding on the drums. Like, it is unmatched. And I know I could go on, but I'm probably not capturing it the way that I want to capture it. But believe me, this live album is one of my favorite releases that they have done in a long time. And I say that with Breach and Clancy both being very recent. This one just had so much power, so much emotion. And again, I'm not trying to kind of compare it to Breach and Clancy. Again, they're very different beasts. This is a live album, so I love them both for different reasons. I'm just saying that this live album was more than I could have hoped for. The only other thing that I could have hoped for was that physical release, let's be real. But other than that, an amazing, amazing live album from 21 Pilots. Next up, I wanted to touch upon some disheartening news. Very sad, not gonna lie. I actually got it from State of the Scene, and I was seeing other people post about it here and there, but Pitchfork, they are reporting that Alternative Press, alongside Revolver and Brooklyn Vegan, has been gutted of staff by parent company Veeps/Live Nation. And we kind of seen this happen already with Rock Sound back, I want to say a year ago, maybe longer, time ago anyways. And they were getting close to the point where there were so many cuts, there were so many staff layoffs that they almost went completely under. And if it wasn't for the fact of the fans, and I'm sure there was some parent company nonsense, what have you, if it wasn't for everything that happened, they would be gone. And it looks like that might happen to Alternative Press and Revolver, and of course Brooklyn Vegan. I'm just focusing on Alternative Press because that is the one that I personally have the most experience with, and most Black Veil fans probably do as well. I'm thinking about Andy and his love for Alternative Press, how he actually went to, or at least I don't know if he went to, but was very proud of the fact that AP was made where he lived, like where he grew up, in Ohio. So it's very, very sad that this is all closing, like for the people involved, for the legacy of what AP is. I shouldn't say is closing. They haven't made any announcements yet that I know of, but very, very sad to see such a legacy, I want to say legacy act, legacy publication go under the way that they have, and how in the past few years you can just slowly see them decline every year. And it's very, again, upsetting, to be honest. As a music fan, I have so many AP magazines, a lot with Black Veil on the cover, of course, but like that's a collection. I have those, and I would have continued buying them, but again, over the years, they're near impossible to find. I haven't seen a single one in my local store in the past 5 years, if not longer. Like, it has been a long time, and I actually found the original Andy Black when the Shadow Side first came out. He had 2 covers. I found those in a Walmart local back when, again, it came out. So 2017-ish, like around there anyways, if not 2016. Wild shit, a long time ago, I get it, but very sad to see how just far downhill they actually are getting and going, and how they're getting no support from their parent company. Very, very sad. But hopefully they find some way out of that hole. Now, to get away from music just a little bit, I needed to touch on the big event happening this Saturday. For those that don't know, this Saturday, August 15th, is the D23 event. And that means we are getting a Kingdom Hearts panel titled Deep Dive into Kingdom Hearts. Again, August 15th, D23. It happens this Saturday. We're finally going to get some more Kingdom Hearts news since we got that last Nintendo Direct trailer back in like June. It's been a little bit of time now, been a few months. People have been able to sit with that trailer, with the news that we were given about Kingdom Hearts 4, and I believe we are on the verge of getting some more. Now, nothing has been completely announced. They did actually, I think, announce it by accident because they ended up removing it off of the D23 app, but they did mention that Tai Yasue, David Gallagher, and Haley Joel Osment, that they would be there in attendance. They would be on the panel most likely, so that is very intriguing. Does that mean we are getting an English trailer? Maybe. Or does it mean more so that they're just there to talk about their experience with Kingdom Hearts? It could very well be both. We'll obviously have to wait and see. Again, it is this Saturday. I'm so excited. And on top of that, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt and try not to be too upset about it, but most likely we are getting that Fortnite announcement for Kingdom Hearts. And I know I'm not excited for it, but I am, and have been getting, anyways, prepared to download Fortnite on my computer. Yes, it is a dark day in where I say that, because if anyone knows me, they know how against it I was. But it raises the question of, being the fact that all the leaks have happened, Sora is going to be in Fortnite, it's not an if at this point, where will he sit in the whole Fortnite debacle? So I don't know much about Fortnite, and if anyone in the comments below could tell me and enlighten me about Fortnite and how it works, all I know is that it is a battle pass system, and within a battle pass system, you usually have to do a lot of grinding if you don't want to pay out the ass to unlock things. And I myself am not about to spend a bunch of money on a game that I kind of just dislike straight up. So Kingdom Hearts, am I going to have to grind for it? Am I going to have to grind through Fortnite for that Kingdom Hearts Sora skin? Or will I be able to just buy it? Just straight up. I don't know. A lot of people are saying one of the Kingdom Hearts things will most likely be locked behind a level system in a battle pass. However that looks, I don't know. I'll find out. But those that do know, let me know in the comments below on how to do it, because I am completely lost. I know nothing about Fortnite other than the fact Kingdom Hearts is going to be in it in one way or another. And we already got the leaks, obviously, for the Kingdom Hearts gummy ship, the Kingdom Hearts Sora skin and whatnot being in Rocket League, the different emblems showing up in the Fortnite, I guess, data mines. A lot of interesting stuff anyways, stuff that hasn't been fully shown off yet, but should be come Saturday. So for everyone that likes Fortnite and is excited for it, tell me down below why. Tell me how it's most likely going to be able to get them. And also on top of that, tell me, are you excited for possible Kingdom Hearts 4 news? Oh my god, because I know I sure am. Also, Kingdom Hearts, the 358 Days Over 2 manga in particular, is getting a reprint by Panini Books in January of 2027. Now, it looks like Chain of Memories is also getting a reprint, and they also did just finish publishing the Kingdom Hearts 3 manga and also reprinted the Kingdom Hearts 1 manga. So hopefully that means more manga for all of us. Now, it is a little difficult to get the Kingdom Hearts manga nowadays, especially if you're after all of them. Unfortunately, you can't really get a few unless if you want to pay. I seen one literally for like $500, and it was one issue, I believe, of Kingdom Hearts 2. Fingers crossed we end up getting that Kingdom Hearts 2 manga reprinted at some point alongside all of these. I know I myself have the majority of the Kingdom Hearts manga, though I am missing the latter half, the ones that Tokyo Pop did not do, of Kingdom Hearts 2, and also the Kingdom Hearts 3 manga completely missing. So I am missing a few, but the rest of them I already have. And I'm very excited and happy to have them because I did most actually just recently buy them, which great timing on my part. I bet if I waited, I probably could have got the reprints for a lot cheaper. But something about having the originals, the original printing of it, is just unlike anything else for me. Like, I look at that and just hold it in a higher regard. Not saying that everyone has to, just a little piece of me is like, hey, that's the original, you know, or one of the originals, and that just makes me happy as a Kingdom Hearts fan. And the rest of the manga, I will say, for what I've read of it, which hasn't been all of it, I can't say all of it, but for what I have read, they are very, very interesting and very good, fun takes on Kingdom Hearts. Like, they aren't canon by any means, so anything that happens in them that doesn't happen in the games doesn't actually matter, but they're essentially a retelling of the game, just in a manga format, and I myself have always appreciated them. I remember getting the very first issue of Kingdom Hearts 2 out of the Scholastic book orders. I don't know if anyone remembers book fairs, or maybe Scholastic is just a Canadian thing, but I'm sure anyone listening has that similar thing happen in their schools where a fair goes around full of books, and usually every month or couple months, I can't remember how often it was, but you'd get sent home with a flyer you could like actually order books from. It's actually how I got the very first Kingdom Hearts 1 manga, alongside a couple other books and some video games, believe it or not. But when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, that manga that I got, I carried it around with me everywhere. It bums me out that I lost it because I ended up lending it to someone, never got it back. Be careful who you lend your books out to, but when it came down to it, I carried that thing around with me everywhere. It looked so beat up, but just so many memories. And the fact that I was able to rebuy it kind of recently, I was holding it and just teared up a little bit. Like, it's crazy that as I get older, those moments hit me harder. And I know older people listening to this are probably just laughing at me, but it was so good. Such a good, warm feeling that I got. And I'm excited for other fans to get this chance, being that they're reprinting some of them. And when that inevitable Kingdom Hearts 2 reprint does happen, I will be all over it. Now, on top of that, I wanted to mention one last thing about Kingdom Hearts before I move on here. In Japan specifically, the Toy Story 5 movie, if you go and see it, you will get a little admission gift to do with Kingdom Hearts. Now, Kingdom Hearts, the Japanese account, posted on Twitter here themselves saying, for those enjoying the smash hit screening of Toy Story 5 starting August 7th at select Toho Cinema theaters, we'll be distributing an original sticker set, 2-piece set, for Kingdom Hearts Collection 1 to 3 on a first come, first served basis while supplies last. Please pick it up at a participating theater. Also, please refrain from any inquiries to the theaters. Distribution ends once supplies are depleted. Distribution may not be available depending on theater operations, screenings, schedules, and etc. Participating theaters are here, and the Kingdom Hearts Collection 1 to 3 releases October 8th. Reservations open now. So a big post, I kind of jumbled that together. Apologies on my behalf, but very cool to see. I don't know if it's still available. I obviously don't live in Tokyo, so I have no idea. I don't have those theaters around me. But when I seen that happened, that is so cool. They are really gearing up. That alongside the actual posters themselves seen outside of D23. They are gearing up for something big, and I believe at D23, being again, they're doing this with Toy Story, they're just reprinting the mangas, they're really gearing up with social presence. I believe we're getting a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer with a Disney World reveal. Now, you might call me crazy, I can put on the clown face paint and wig if I must, but we'll see what happens. I gotta say, I'm excited. Now to move on from that, I wanted to touch on Team Canada. Yes, back with some hockey news. I didn't mention this at all last podcast because it didn't start yet. On Monday, they started up the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. Now, to jump to the end, because that's what everyone really cares about, the outcome of the tournament, Team Canada won. We won, finally. Oh my God, talk about the dark ages of hockey for Canadians. Absolutely wild it took this long for us to get a gold medal. Crazy. I know that might be sounding very ignorant. I don't mean to. It's just in the history of hockey, Canada has dominated. But in recent events, that hasn't been the case. But this time, we are back on top. The Hlinka Gretzky Cup did come back to Canada. Canada won it in Edmonton. They are actually undefeated when playing in Alberta in that tournament. I believe it's 20 plus wins at this point. Absolutely crazy. Just so fitting that they're able to finish it off with yet another win, and this time a blowout. Possibly the biggest ever win I have ever seen Team Canada do against the United States. They went against the USA for gold for the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. They beat them 8-1. Team Canada won 8-1. That in itself is insane. Congrats, kids. Congrats, Team Canada. Those kids are going to be going far, and I cannot wait to see how they help in the World Juniors when that eventually comes, and the future championships as it goes, and eventual Olympics. Very, very cool. Awesome moment for Canadian hockey. We'll see if they're able to keep that momentum rolling into the World Juniors this Christmas. Next, just a quick thing I wanted to touch on, Story of Seasons. It's a franchise, used to be called Harvest Moon for those that don't know. It has turned 30 years old, and there is actually a thing out there now that you can submit your memories, your past with this franchise, your love for it, and share it with the actual Story of Seasons gang on Twitter, on their socials, on their website specifically, and maybe be featured in some sort of thing they're going to be posting. I'm not really sure what they're doing with it, but they have said that their submissions are open. You can actually record something, draw something, what have you, send it into them, and yeah, I guess you'll be featured in some way, and you might possibly win something. It does end tomorrow, so I know, apologies, on the 12th, Wednesday. So apologies for not a huge, big, announcement to tell you how long you have, but I myself am thinking about maybe entering something, just kind of rambling about my memories to do with that, so I'll refrain from doing it here. But it is a series that I hold near and dear, definitely because of my brother Ty, and I can't believe it's 30. I cannot believe it. I've actually been going back through the one I played as a kid the most on the DS, and that was for its 10th anniversary. So my mind was blown when I found it's been 20 years since then. Absolutely wild. But enough said on that. I will probably ramble about that in the future video when I actually post that 2 Storia seasons. I don't know how I'm going to go about it yet, but if you see something come up on my YouTube, that'll probably be it. Next up, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Yes, an intense, amazing film. Absolutely fantastic. It is worth all of the praise, all of the money that it has been getting. Oh my God. I know that it's Spider-Man. I know it's another superhero film, what have you. This one was different. It definitely hit different, and it definitely hit me in a very specific way. I believe, and again, spoiler free, don't worry, you don't have to click away. I'm not going to say anything about what happens in the movie. Just what I left feeling, or how it left me feeling. I felt it was such a personal story, probably the most personal Spider-Man story that we've ever gotten on screen. And it made me feel so full. It made me cry. I was in the cinema crying to Spider-Man. Hello? Like, I know I'm more emotional than most, but come on. There were moments there that just made me feel just so drained, because I have found myself in a position similar to what Peter faces in the movie, where he is in this point of the MCU. The way that they were able to portray it and relate it to so many people, like, it wasn't just a Spider-Man movie. This was a personal movie. This was a movie where you yourself as a viewer could put yourself in Spider-Man's shoes. He's not in space. He's not fighting some, regardless of alien, whatever, what have you, some nonsense. It's such a personal story while still making it feel so grand and amazing as Spider-Man should be. Like, I don't really know how else to put it other than the fact that it was spectacular as Spider-Man should be. So I very, very much enjoyed it. I think it is a MCU movie, granted a movie in general, that everyone should go see, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. But very, very good. And I'll leave it at that. Again, I don't want to touch on any spoilers. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that has not already seen it. But at this point, I think the majority of everyone will have seen it, because it has already passed Avengers Endgame for its first opening weekend box office, and it has become the highest opening weekend movie of all time for any film. Highest of all time box office for opening weekend. Crazy. It passed Avengers Endgame, and it is also tracking to earn $150 million plus in its second domestic weekend. It'll be among the top 3 biggest second box office weekends of all time. Crazy to say the least. Not surprised, it is Spider-Man. Spider-Man sells like crazy, but beautiful to say the least. I'm very happy with that. Again, it is probably the best MCU film, and film in general, granted MCU specifically, that I have seen in a very long time. The past few MCU movies have been decent. The ones before that, not so much, but this is definitely return to form and probably one of the best Spider-Man films in general, which I know is a very, very big say. Also, on top of that, to Snoopy and Spider-Man, happy birthday. Can't believe they share the same birthday, but I had to mention that because, hell yeah, Snoopy and Spider-Man. But to move on past that, also in movie news, stream Coraline with fans from around the world. Join us on YouTube for a global watch party of Coraline on Sunday, August 16th, and stick around for an exclusive sneak peek at Wildwood in theaters October 23rd. RSVP at Leica.com/Coraline. So, if you can't tell, Coraline's being streamed for everyone to go watch. It's going to be streamed on YouTube. You can RSVP if you want. And I think myself, if I have the time, I'm going to go check it out because they're going to show off more Wildwood. It's a watch party for all to watch it. I love Coraline. Absolutely adore it. One of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm excited for that. And I just wanted to share it so you guys don't miss it. It takes place on Sunday right after D23. Now to touch on some quick Croc 2 news. Argonaut Studios on Twitter posted, "We have not made any announcements about physical releases yet, but we intend to support the viable physical platforms for as long as we are able to. We will provide updates on our plans ASAP." So Croc 2 looks like we might get a disc version of it. Maybe disc, maybe only cartridge. We'll see how long it takes them to get to the actual disc manufacturing and stuff. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we do get that physical at some point. And I had to mention it because I mentioned that in a past episode. Now to kind of move on and wrap up the episode here, I need to say a huge, massive congratulations. Massive. To Nicole of BVB Army Hearts to Hearts podcast on her pregnancy. Completely left field, but her pregnancy announcement, congrats. To those that follow her already know, but to those that don't, she is a co-host alongside Ruth of the BVB Army Hearts to Hearts podcast. I myself have been featured on it a couple of times now, and they're both fantastic, spectacular people. I very much enjoy them. Honestly, I wish they were my friends. Not gonna lie, they're very cool. They have a lot of love for Black Veil Brides, and I seen her post this, and I was completely out of left field, just shook. I was like, holy shit, what? That's so fantastic. That's awesome. The fact that she was able to reach that point with her partner and have, eventually have a child here, that's great. Congrats, Nicole. And I apologize about rambling on it, but congratulations. I am actually so incredibly happy for you, and I really, really hope that it goes well. So congrats for the last and final time. Congratulations. To move on from that, though, which again, amazing news, is water parks. Now, water parks, they did just come out with their album Jinx, but they also just today, released the Tell Me Why music video with puppets. Now, originally, it was a concept for people to understand and for the band to, quote-unquote, sell the song to the label and other featured artists, but the band actually posted the music video itself, and on Instagram, they ended up saying, I spent $400 on puppets to make an iPhone video in my living room that convinced Mark Hoppus and everyone else involved to feature on our song Tell Me Why. All the characters on the song were originally sung by me, so on most people's first listens, they were very confused. We needed features. Once the song was explained, people were mind blown that the track even existed. We were told by some artists' teams they would need a visual of some kind to explain to the people we wanted involved, so I bought 13 puppets and shot the private music video to circulate internally. This video has come up in interviews and podcasts lately when we've been asked about how the song happened, and enough people have been curious, so here it is. Tell Me Why puppet video we used to pitch everyone on the song, out in full now. So very cool. I know it was a mouthful of a post. Apologies for butchering it, but very cool all the same. I myself have not gotten to watch the music video. I just seen that it was posted, so I had to share about it. I'm very curious and excited to actually see it for myself. The fact that it is puppets sounds very, very cool. And I love that they had to actually sell people on the thought of the song. I myself, listening to it, can understand what's going on, but I get it, because I actually have heard the original. If you actually bought the Jinx expansion pack there, you will have heard the original as well, without the featured artists on it. But even without the featured artists, it still makes sense, in my opinion, to those that didn't understand it, being the studio and all that stuff. I don't get why, but, whatever. It's cool that we are finally going to be able to see a music video, especially this puppet one, in any sense. So it's something, as a water parks fan, to be excited to see. Next up, just the usual new/upcoming releases. Obviously, we got 21 Pilots with More Than We Ever Imagined in Mexico City, which did come out number 6 on global Spotify, debuted. Absolutely fantastic. We also got Electric Callboy with Tanzanide, or Tanzide. Their new album anyways, from Electric Callboy. Very good. I actually got to listen to it with my buddy Paul. Shout out to you, man. Love you lots. And it was not a letdown in the slightest. Also, we are getting Unshatter, the film soundtrack, live in Sao Paulo, out September 25th, with the film following September 30th, and more Alex Benjamin demos to come once he is back in LA. I believe he's just in London, somewhere over there in the UK. Once he gets back, he said he is going to be posting some more. As for some other releases off Spotify here, we got Jacob Lee with Cautionary Tales, a brand new EP from him. Very good. And Said the Sky, Elenium, and Heather Sommer with When the Light Breaks. So not a whole lot new aside from what I already mentioned in this episode and last with Valley and whatnot. So very good, very cool to say the least, and I'm excited to see what comes from here. I know I'm probably forgetting and blanking on some big albums, and anyone knowing, screaming at me, saying, hey, what about this one? Let me know in the comments. Scream at me down there. I'll actually hear it. And while you're there, leave a like, share with some friends if you're able to. It is always appreciated. So thank you for listening, and as always, thank you so much for discovering the music within.